Hello guys, my name is Sergey. I'm a freediving instructor trainer, and today I want to do a book review. The book named Depths by one of the best freediver, Guillaume Nery. This book is kind of autobiography, written by Guillaume Nery, obviously, but it stands apart from any autobiography which I ever read. So it is not like okay, this is my childhood, this is how I spent my time in the school, this is my university, this is my first love, etc, etc. So the book splits into a few chapters. I think it's like 6 or 7 chapters, and each chapters, the main theme of each chapters is a part of his deep dive. So let's say he took his deep dive to 125 meters, he split it into the 6 or 7 parts. And then, let's say, for example, the chapter number 1, let's say relaxation breathing. And then he obviously not only describing relaxation breathing in this chapter, but he also describing his thoughts which are related to this particular activity, to the relaxation breathing. Then let's say he's doing his duck dive, let's say the next chapter. And then the next chapter, let's say the dive from the surface to the 30 meters. He's not just explaining how he made this dive, because then it's going to be just a few seconds, a few sentences. But he also give, like I said, his thoughts, which in his opinion related to this part of his dive. And this is what made the book interesting, at least for me, because it was pretty unique. I never actually met this type of autobiography before, and in my opinion it's pretty interesting. And then again, let's say for example he started his free fall on this particular dive to 125 meters. He started his free fall, and the chapter which is devoted to this, again, it's not just explanation of the free fall, but it is some of his ideas, some of his thoughts related to this part of his dive. Again, it is really subjective, which, let's say, Nery thinks that this is related. Maybe when I'm reading or you're reading, you're thinking that it's completely unrelated to the main subject, but this was his idea. And then throughout this book he actually explaining his childhood, he explaining how he started freediving, he explaining how he started competing in freediving, why and how he made his popular short movies such as Narcosis, such as Freefall, how he met his wife, etc, etc. So from this book you wouldn't learn a lot about freediving itself. If, let's say, you're a beginner and you are looking for freediving manual, this is obviously not your book. You not start reading this book by complete beginner and finishing like, okay, now I know how to train and now I know what is a freediving. But what it gives you a really unique opportunity to be inside the mind of the world champion, because Nery is pretty open in this book by explaining different aspects of his life, explaining his different approach to different subjects in the life, like explaining his philosophy, explaining his relationship to the religion, let's say. For me, this book is pretty unique and have a lot of value, because I think, even if you know, let's say, Nery personal, even if you know him and you can say hello and you can have a friendly chat, you're not going to learn about him that deep compared to if you read this book. Because he's explaining a lot of things in this book which normally you're not explaining, not for the total strangers who we are for him obviously, but also not for your friends. You're not explaining in that much details different aspects. And this is what interesting to read about this book, because it really helps you to understand much more about freedivers. At least he's not like freedivers in general, but one of the best freedivers mindset. This is why I think it's really interesting. Obviously, if you're a freediver, there is also some interesting parts which directly related to freediving, which you might use. For example, there is a few parts where he is explaining things about his training, his approach to the depths. Because I'm a very safe freediver, both as a freediver and as a freediving instructor, and this is why for me it was really nice to find in this book that Nery is also kind of conservative in the approach of his progress, in the approach of the depths. I think he named it in this book like Nice, it is a city, Nice approach or something like this. Then this approach is characterized by not chasing the numbers, not chasing the a success in the competition, mainly just enjoy the freediving itself. Just enjoy to be in the water, enjoy to dive, enjoy to hold your breath, etc., etc. So this part of the book was really close to my approach to freediving. Though I'm trying to improve my freediving, it's not the main idea. The main idea is to love what are you doing. So guys, who can find this book interesting? I think every single freediver can find this book interesting. Again, the idea how to put his thoughts in the book are pretty unique. This is why maybe it can be a little bit confusing in the beginning. So I think a few pages, maybe even a few chapters, I was a little bit confused, like why he put it in this way. But as soon as you get used to it, then I think it's pretty interesting book to read. So every freediver, I highly recommend to read it. As far as I know, at least for the present moment, you couldn't find this book on Amazon, but you can find the book on their website. I think the book, the name of their website, something like blueberry.com. I will put the link in the description, and then you can order from them. I don't know, are they still selling these books or not, but again, you can buy it on their website. So again, in my opinion, every freediver is going to benefit by reading this book. Okay guys, thanks for watching. This is it. This was my review about this book. I hope this video was useful. If it was useful, don't forget to click the like button. If you already read this book, let me know in comments, do you like it or not? If you like it, which part of the book you like especially. If you don't like it, why you don't like it. Please share your opinion about this book. And thank you again for watching my video, and I will see you next time.